Welcome back, Patriots. Welcome back, my friends, to Sons of Liberty 1773. I'm your host, Bill Bailey. I'm broadcasting today from my outdoor studio. I'm at the gas station. You guys know where I'm at, right? You know, I got the vintage gas pumps and the old Coke machine. Might have beer in it, not pop, but, you know, who cares? So, Joe Biden, I don't remember Congress declaring making a declaration of war. Yet Joe is deploying reservists. And some of the reservists that he's calling back are out. I mean, they were outdone back in their civilian life. And he's calling them up and sending them to, Operation Atlantic Resolve or something. Sending them over to Europe. I assume to be deployed in some fashion in defense of Ukraine. Keep prepping, man. Keep stocking up. Couldn't get away today. I was actually volunteered. Antrim County Republican Party did one of these adopt a highway deal for you people that aren't from this country, or you agree to go clean up a certain section of state highways or roads, county roads, and they put up some nice signs. This road maintained by the Antrim County Republican Party, which means the Democrats will probably be throwing their garbage out there, but whatever, we'll just pick it up. We really are for a clean environment. So I was doing that today and ended up with some other stuff. But tomorrow we're going to be doing a big shop again, or at least this week. Sticking to my New Year's Day 2023 predictions I made, which was Joey and his commies are leading us into the greatest depression, not the Great Depression, the greatest depression, and World War III, and nothing has happened to change my mind. The national debt now is going to cascade this year over the interest, folks, the interest alone on the national debt this year is going to cross $1 trillion. Social Security payments last year were $1.2 trillion. It's probably going to surpass that. Every family in America now, you need to cough up $600 just to pay the interest on the national debt. Interest rates are going up, which means the interest will be that much more. It's a perfect storm, and it's all on purpose, folks. They're trying to collapse and destroy America. Strategic oil reserves, these big natural caverns. That's where we pump this extra oil. When we need it, we pump it back out and process it. Will take decades to refill them. Decades, folks. Joe is everything he can do to hurt this country. He's seems to be doing it. Do you see the creepy? It's in my shorts. Some kid, he's in Sweden. I forget where the hell he was. And he walks up, doesn't always sniff the kids. He starts going, what's the guy's name from, Hannibal Lecter, was that from Silence of the Lambs? He kind of went Hannibal on the little kid. I mean, really creepy. The little kid was horrified. Kid will never be right in the head again after that. Something wrong with that guy. But he got 84 million votes. I kind of thought when we were cleaning up the garbage along the road, maybe I'd find a box full of, throwing away ballots. Never know. Michigan Republican Party is in complete disarray. They've got like $93,000 in their account, folks. They need about 30 million, okay? They need about, let's say, 15 to 30 million to be competitive in 2024, the Republican Party. 93,000. Might as well be 93 cents. It's not that Christina Caramo isn't a good person. I like her. But she's just not raising money. You got to raise money. And Oh, Bill, give her a break. Well, look, I wouldn't give myself a break if I was in that position. If I took a job that required me to raise money and I'm failing, then I got to take the heat. I don't know what they're going to do, but they need to figure it out quick. Part of this isn't Christina's fault, by the way. Part of this is the big mega donors that have always bought the Republican Party with their pocketbooks. They're not giving any money because they despise MAGA. So part of that, that's not Christina's fault. But but she knew that going into the job, and you just got to figure out the workaround and make it happen. But right now, it's literally fist fighting. I don't know if it's fist fighting. A guy got kicked in the sack and got kicked in the groin, and it sent him to the hospital at the Michigan Republican state meeting in Clear, Michigan at the Doherty Motel. So, I mean, it's literally come to fisticuffs, if you will. So if I was the Republican, if I was Trump's camp figuring out the Electoral College vote, I wouldn't count Michigan out, but I wouldn't figure what do you need, 270 electoral votes? I wouldn't consider Michigan in that count. I'd be figuring out a way to get there without Michigan. If you get Michigan, it's a bonus. Do not count on Michigan. After Prop 2 passed last year, the whole process in Michigan is corrupt as hell. Joey sent the cluster munitions to Ukraine. They're being used. Ukraine looks like they blew up an important bridge. Russia's pissed, so they're going to end the grain deal with getting the grain shipments. So grain prices are spiking. Reading a lot of the economic forecasters, folks, I just don't, my opinion. Do your own research. I'm not a financial guy, but I'm just giving you my opinion. This is a 61, soon to be 62-year-old guy that's lived through the good and bad economies that I think he's heading for some bad times. I can tell you that a major real estate company franchise here in Michigan, statewide, after the first 5 months of the year, they're down over 20%. Their northern Michigan operations, which is basically vacation resort property, right? Second homes. They're down 72% is what I heard for the year. That was through the end of May. And their local office here in Antrim County is down like 77% from last year. My friend out east, that is a big, massive auto restoration shop. You may know his show. It was Phantom Works on the Velocity channel, and I forget who else maybe carried it. Great restoration shop, one of the best in the world. He mentioned to me, I just talked to him and his wife are patriots, by the way, that about 10 months ago the classic car market's taking a dive. He's noticed it. Boat and RV sales are starting to, RV sales have been down. So, this is all the stuff. The toys, look at the house on the lake up north, or the cottage in the woods on 20 acres up in the UP, the second vacation home, that's a toy, okay? It's a luxury item. The classic car, the boat, the RV, all that stuff is extra after you can afford to pay for your home, your cars, the kids' college funds, food on the table, insurances, taxes. If you have excess money, then you go enjoy it on some of those toys. That's the first stuff to dry up, folks. And it is like the alarm bell before the economy crashes. And it's happening. I saw this happen in 2006. And man, when it crashed and went south, it was like 90 days from feast to famine. So will this be more of a slow burn? Because it's a little bit different. The mechanism driving this, well, I mean, it's not, but similar in some ways, not in others. But it could be more of a slow burn, but, I just think the crash is coming. Just has to be that one event, and, I mean, the market will collapse, like a small tactical nuclear weapon being used by Russia, or some sort of false flag in Ukraine, the Zaporizhia nuclear plant being bombed, creating a dirty bomb You know, something like that. But we're still marching full force toward World War III. Unbelievable. Nothing good comes. Look at. I have no stake. I mean, I'm sorry. I love the Ukrainian people. I love the Russian people. Don't like either one of their governments. To me, it looks like Putin is in survival mode, or he's protecting his country from what he feared was going to be another NATO nation on his border. And there'd been a border war going on for years. I mean, I don't pretend to understand it all, other than I know enough that I don't want to see body bags coming back to America in another senseless war. The corporations, you know, the big pharma, the military-industrial complex, look, they make billions off people being sick or dying in a war. We should have the biggest, baddest, greatest military that the world has ever seen, and we did under Trump. You know, now you're learning we're running out of ammunition. The strategic oil reserves about drained. Giving our allies, you know, our leaving Afghanistan and giving the Taliban, our enemy, $80 billion of our state of the war equipment. Terrible woke leadership. An economy that's, you know, sending us into hyperinflation. If I was America's enemy, you know, America's enemy right now, I probably feared America under Trump. I can tell you they did. But now under Joe, you know, I mean, they're circling the wagons. So not a lot we can do about this except, you know, be as involved as you can, and need to get Trump. Look, at the primary is a waste of our time. They're trying everything to take Trump off the ticket. Ain't gonna happen. And anybody but Trump on the ticket, the Democrats win. Everybody needs to understand that. You people voting that want a different Republican than Trump, you need to know that anybody but Trump, and we end up with Democrats again, and that will be the end of the country. They're really communist. You know, they've infiltrated and stolen the once fairly decent Democrat Party. I mean, it wasn't far left loony land. They wanted a little more government than the Republicans wanted. And it'd go back and forth, and, you know, Republicans right of center a little bit, and Democrats used to be left of center. Now, you know, they're full out communist. And so 2024 is our last bite at the apple. I mean, we either, at least to take this country back peacefully, and we need to stay peacefully, and at least, you know, through the election. But I'm not going to live under communism, folks. Ain't going to happen. Our country is just so corrupt right now. You know, in the Turning Point Action Conference in Florida was epic. Go on Rumble and go to RSBN and watch the speakers, especially Bannon. Bannon, Trump, Tucker Carlson. By the way, Tucker brought up a great thing, you know, what's going on right now, scary times. You know, it was Orwell, I think, that said, you know, I'm going to screw the quote up, and I just read it, I should know it, but basically when you're living under tyranny, telling the truth is a revolutionary act, right? And that's where we are. And so Tucker brought up, you know, you can talk about flat Earth society, you know, UFOs, a plethora of subjects until you want to talk about truth, okay? You bring up the election, what do? The 2020 election. Can't talk about that. Joe, even though he's never campaigned, hid in his basement, doesn't know if he's coming or going, got more votes than any president of the United States, 15 million more votes, I believe, than Barack Hussein Obama, which, whether you agree with his politics or not, I certainly don't, is a likable guy, smart, you know, articulate speaker, and you could see how he would win over voters, right? But Joe got more votes than Barack Obama in black communities. I would think that the media would want to ask these questions, but they won't talk about it. They never showed one clip of the Turning Point event. I mean, a lot of the Republican presidential candidates were there. Some great speakers. Megyn Kelly actually gave a good speech. Trump, none of it. Wouldn't give it a second of airtime, because they're just as corrupt as the other big media. They're all working for the deep state. But Tucker brought up, you can't tell the truth, so you can't talk about the jab, right? Can't question that. Well, normally, things go through a trial period for 10 years. But this one was, before they'll ever put it out to the general population. But no, this one's good, and you need to inject it in your body, or we're going to, deplatform you. We're going to fire you. You won't be able to go in the service. You get a dishonorable discharge. I never got it, and I'm doing just fine, folks. And I'm glad. I didn't get it. And I was getting shamed by, you're not getting the jab. You're a super spreader, and you shouldn't be allowed to go anywhere without the jab. I mean, I heard some of this from some locals around here, and I just smiled at them and thought, maybe someday you'll wake up. And I think now some of them that got the juice and they're seeing what's happening are maybe regretting some of the endless boosters they were taking. But voting machines, you can't get the source code, right? If you have nothing to hide nothing. I mean, they should be a simple, like an adding machine, 1 + 1 + 1, but these are advanced computer systems. Why? Why do you need an advanced computer system? Why isn't the media asking some of these questions? And when you talk about it, you're over the target, right? When you're taking flack. So, Jack Smith, last name spelled ASS, that's put these fake indictments under Trump, is apparently getting ready to hit Trump with, 40 or 60 more garbage indictments that are not going to go anywhere. Jack Smith and these rogue prosecutors that are using lawfare and violating the Constitution and their oath of office should be in prison or worse. Throw away the key, take their pensions, never to be seen again. And maybe when Trump is in office, we can get some of that done. Because I know the first thing Trump is doing is he's going after the administrative state. These are unelected bureaucrats, folks. Did you vote for the head of the FBI? Did you get to vote for that person? I don't think there's a fourth branch of government in the Constitution. If there is, somebody please comment down below. We got to take a stand, folks. We have the Constitution, the rule of law, and to be frank, righteousness on our side. And so, people need to wake the hell up. A lot of people went out on the 4th of July waving flags and watching the fireworks and stuff that are just uninformed people that have no idea our country's being burnt to the ground. Just isn't going to get better. And nothing worth having comes easy, right, in life? Rarely. Even the people that win the lottos, these multi-million dollars, it ends up destroying them. Everything worth having comes with work and grit and relentless pursuit of what it is you want to achieve. Our government is corrupt as any government's ever been corrupt in the history of the world. Our debt is catastrophic. We have more debt than all the nations of earth going back to the beginning of time to today combined. Unsustainable, completely unsustainable. They want to push us into this digital currency, which is, as far as I'm concerned, it's like mark of the beast stuff. And with AI, like somehow that's going to be safe. No, it's not. Nothing online is going to be safe. It's not now. And when the criminals get AI, which they will, it's going to be complete havoc of our society. And AI is going to be able to make this video of me speaking to you, saying stuff that I would never say. It's going to be able to put you at a crime scene you were never at. What AI is going to be able to do is horrible. And Kevin McCarthy, by the way, there's a video of him right now online bragging about AI. Oh, it's wonderful. We'd be able to track and manage and know where a fire would start in Canada before it ever started, and we could deploy people in that area. Well, I think it's really dry. And, you probably, this ain't rocket science. I don't need AI to figure that out. But, AI can be used for good, but it'll be a two-edged sword. Worse than nuclear weapons, right? Nuclear energy is great. Nuclear medicine's great. Nuclear bombs, not so much. But this will be much worse, because this will be stuff that they can use daily without blowing something all to hell, but do just as much or more destruction. So I think that's it. I think I spoke about everything I pretty much wanted to cover. A couple of other items I'll talk about in another video, but when the time is right. It's not yet, but it will be soon, maybe this week. I think I'll end it here. It's 21 minutes and 23 seconds, so let's call it. Remember Mike Lindell, mypillow.com. Mike Lindell made a great speech, by the way, too. Go to Rumble, go to RSBN, and watch all the speakers. All of them are wonderful. I suggest you start with Bannon, because Bannon brought the fire. And Roger Stone, that was another good speech. So anyways, Mike Lindell, mypillow.com. Go give them some love. Use promo code SOL1773 at mypillow.com and buy some of the great sleepwear. Get the Sleep of the Saints. Nailbeds.com is where the communists go shop for their bedding. It's like a hunk of plywood with 16 penny nails every 1 inch. That's where they can go sleep. They will never get a good night's sleep because they're evil. Keep prepping and keep praying, my friends. Sons of Liberty out. See ya.